The team needs to score, not you need to score. And I will explain now. Cristiano Ronaldo has been in that situation multiple times. If you make that run here, you make the defender take a decision.
Cristiano Ronaldo just had one of the most humiliating nights of his entire career. 24 hours after Lionel Messi scored a first-ever World Cup hat-trick against Algeria, the world was watching. The question was simple: would CR7 answer? Would the 41-year-old legend rise to the occasion?
He got the pressure so much because Messi scored the 3 goals.
On the biggest stage of all, Portugal versus the Democratic Republic of Congo, Group K, June 17th, 2026, at NRG Stadium in Houston.
In the city of Houston, the home of the world-famous rodeo, Cristiano Ronaldo at 41 enters his last chance World Cup saloon.
It was a frustrating game for Cristiano Ronaldo, who started and played the full 90 minutes. And the answer to the question, devastating. This is the story of the night footballers mocked Cristiano Ronaldo.
There's no way of dropping Cristiano Ronaldo, not even a split second.
And why the whole world is now asking whether this is finally the end. The context. The stage was set for greatness. Let's start with just how massive the weight of expectation was heading into this game, because the pressure that Ronaldo carried onto that pitch in Houston was almost impossible to comprehend. The opening games of the 2026 World Cup had been all about the biggest stars in the world showing up on the biggest stage. On Tuesday, Kylian Mbappe scored twice in France's victory over Senegal. Erling Haaland also scored twice in Norway's win against Iraq. Then came an iconic performance from Lionel Messi as he netted a hat-trick against Algeria. A hat-trick, his first ever at a World Cup. The goals took him to 16 World Cup goals, level with Miroslav Klose for the all-time record. The whole football world lost its mind. Social media exploded, and suddenly, every single set of eyes on the planet shifted toward Houston. On Wednesday, all eyes were on Messi's generational counterpart, Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo, to see how he would respond. Given Ronaldo's personality and pride, the wide expectation was that he would go all out to try to match his peers and rivals. This was supposed to be the moment. The script was already written. Messi scores a hat-trick on Tuesday. Ronaldo storms out on Wednesday and does the same. The GOAT debate reignites. Millions tune in. And there was even more on the line. Ronaldo became only the second man to appear in 6 World Cups, following Argentina's Lionel Messi, who did the same thing on Tuesday evening. Despite making history as the oldest outfield player to ever start a World Cup match at 41 years and 132 days, CR7 had one final record within reach, becoming the first player in history to score in 6 different World Cup tournaments. Portugal were also listed as genuine title contenders, armed with arguably the best midfield on the planet. Congo DR, meanwhile, were playing at the World Cup for the first time in 52 years. On paper, this was a mismatch, a foregone conclusion, an easy 3 points. Yeah, about that. The match, Portugal's shocking failure. Now here's where things get truly painful, because the opening minutes of this game made it look like everything was going to plan.
In the city of Houston, the home of the world-famous rodeo, Cristiano Ronaldo at 41 enters his last chance World Cup saloon.
Both goals came in the first half as João Neves headed home just after 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Martinez primarily attributed Portugal's problems against Congo DR to a lack of initiative after João Neves' early goal put them ahead. Neves scored in the 6th minute, but Portugal managed just 6 more shot attempts afterward. 6 total. And where was Ronaldo in all of this? Invisible. The statistics made for uncomfortable reading. Ronaldo registered 3 shots across the evening, all in the second half, with a combined expected goals figure of just 0, 46. Not one of them hit the target, and drove forward with the ball only once throughout the entire contest. Think about that. 25 touches. In a 90-minute World Cup game, ESPN highlighted the brutal reality. 25 touches, 3 shots, 0 on target, 1 duel won. That is the second least amount of touches Ronaldo has ever had in a World Cup start. The goalkeeper of Portugal, Diogo Costa, touched the ball more times than Cristiano Ronaldo, the goalkeeper, in a game where his team had 75% possession, and then Congo struck. DR Congo remained stubborn and were rewarded with their first World Cup goal, courtesy of Newcastle's Yohan Wissa, which proved enough to come away with a remarkable point in their first appearance at the tournament since 1974, a header right before half-time, and while both sides had opportunities in the second 45, Roberto Martinez's men could not make their dominance of possession count for a winner. Talk about a complete collapse. A team that everyone expected Portugal to beat comfortably.
Congo come and get a first World Cup point, first World Cup goal.
Just earned a point on the biggest stage in world football. Unbelievable. Ronaldo's 2 missed chances. But here's the part that made Ronaldo fans around the world bury their faces in their hands. Because it was not like he was entirely absent in the second half. He had his moments, 2 of them. 2 golden moments that could have made this entire night completely different. In the 68th minute of the match, Ronaldo had a shot that went wide of the right post. Made the wrong move prior to receiving the pass.
You saw the reaction of Bruno Fernandes behind, going like, let it roll, make a run, create space, so I can tap it in.
Insisting that he should have let the ball go to teammate Bruno Fernandes. The second chance came just minutes later. A beautiful combination between Bruno Fernandes and Francisco Conceição. The ball laid back to Ronaldo, completely free inside the box. He swung, missed the target entirely. Bruno, standing right behind him, with a tap-in if only Ronaldo had let it go. CR7 looked like a man desperately chasing a goal rather than helping his team win a football match. Ronaldo was held scoreless for the 5th straight World Cup match and the 10th consecutive game in major competitions, including World Cups and European Championships. 10 years ago, 5 years since Cristiano Ronaldo scored a genuine open-play goal for Portugal at a major tournament. Let that sink in for a second. Thierry Henry drops a bombshell. And now for the part where the football world's biggest names lined up to deliver their verdict, because after the final whistle, the punditry panels went nuclear, starting with a man who knows exactly what it takes to deliver on the World Cup stage, Thierry Henry. The 41-year-old Al Nassr striker, chasing his 1,000th career goal, was unable to add to his tally and drew sharp criticism for the manner in which he went about his business. Speaking alongside fellow pundit Zlatan Ibrahimovic on Fox's post-match analysis, Henry wasted no time in making his feelings clear.
One thing that's important, people, please, at home, the team needs to score, not you need to score.
One thing that is important, people, please, at home, the team needs to score, not you need to score, Henry said. The team needs to score, not you. Thierry Henry, a man with 1 World Cup winners' medal and 51 international goals, looking straight into the camera and telling the greatest scorer in football history that he was being too selfish, brutal. The Frenchman argued that Ronaldo's movement in the final third actually hindered Portugal's chances of breaking down a resilient DR Congo defense, specifically during a second-half sequence involving Juan Cancelo and Bruno Fernandes. If he goes into the 6-yard box, the defender would have had to follow him, a tap-in for Bruno Fernandes. But because he wants to score, he goes into the path of the back pass. You see both players, and it's easier for you to defend, Henry explained in his tactical breakdown on Fox. And standing right next to Henry on that panel, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who said, normally as a striker, you go from first post to second post to bring the defender with you to open the space for the guy behind. So, obviously, you made the wrong choice here, Cristiano. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, one of the most feared strikers in football history, telling Ronaldo he made the wrong choice on live television to a global audience of hundreds of millions. Wrong choice, Cristiano. Chris Sutton goes for the manager too. But the criticism did not stop with the player. Oh no, because BBC pundit Chris Sutton decided to drag Portugal manager Roberto Martinez into the firing line as well, and he did not hold back one single word. Ronaldo took the ball off Bruno Fernandes behind him. That is embarrassing, said Sutton, midfielder Vitinha instead of Ronaldo. That is embarrassing for Roberto Martinez. Are we all watching a different game to Martinez? He is scared to take him off. He is not the manager. He might score the winner, but the game has passed him by. He is not the manager. Sutton was basically saying the same thing the whole football world was thinking. Ronaldo, not Martinez, is running this team. And Martinez's response when asked directly about it after the game, he said, the best goal scorer in world football, that was Martinez's defense. And it would have sounded a lot more convincing if Ronaldo had managed even one shot on target in 90 minutes. Luke Edwards of the UK Telegraph wrote, he looked like an aging member of the supporting cast for Portugal. This is his 6th 6th World Cup, but it has started in insipid fashion for him and his compatriots. The once superhuman footballer appeared not just human, he looked every one of his 41 years. There will be people angered by that comment, but seriously, how much longer can a player who moved to the Saudi Pro League 3 years ago realistically operate at an elite level? Kevin Prince Boateng goes hardest of all. And then came the most savage take of the entire night. The one that cut deepest, not from Henry, not from Sutton, not from Zlatan. It came from former Barcelona, AC Milan, and Ghana star Kevin Prince Boateng, speaking live on SBS Sport, and he did not waste a single word on pleasantries. "Can I be honest?" Boateng said. "Ronaldo, if he would be a real team player, he would step down and let the young players flow, because Portugal is a better side without him. There's so much pressure when he's in the middle, because they all want to play the ball to him. He was not finished. I get that. I understand that. I played with great players like that. You always want to focus and let him score. I know he's after records. He broke all of them." And then the killer line. "But if Portugal wants to have a chance to go far, I believe Ronaldo should step down. Let the others play and come in for the last 15-20 minutes to get that great result out of his game. Step down. A real team player would step down." Those words, from someone who played at the very highest level, hit different. This was not some keyboard warrior on social media. This was a professional who shared dressing rooms with legends, telling one of the greatest players ever, and the fans on social media, they piled on immediately. Watching this version of Ronaldo is actually so sad, man. Can't even hate on the guy, but he was washed at the 2022 World Cup, had a poor 2024 Euros yet, is somehow leading the line in big 2026, wrote one soccer content creator. Another was even harsher. "Ronaldo is the biggest problem this Portugal super team has. The earlier they admit it, the better. There's literally nothing a 41-year-old can do anymore." The Messi chance, the ultimate humiliation now. Here is the moment that truly went viral, the moment that will be replayed on highlight reels for years. The single most humiliating 30 seconds of Cristiano Ronaldo's entire 2026 World Cup so far. After Portugal's surprising draw against DR Congo on Wednesday, Cristiano Ronaldo walked off the pitch alone as frustration mounted. As he made his way toward the tunnel, DR Congo fans could be heard chanting, "Messi, Messi." The crowd chanting Messi at Cristiano Ronaldo as he walked off the pitch after failing to score against a team making only their second ever World Cup appearance. The man who has spent the last 20 years of his life trying to prove he is the greatest of all time, walking alone down that tunnel with the name of his greatest rival echoing around the stadium. For nearly 2 decades, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi have pushed each other to unprecedented heights at both the club and international level. Now, this year's FIFA World Cup has become the latest stage for their rivalry, even without a head-to-head showdown. And the contrast between the two men right now, almost too painful to describe. After Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, and Erling Haaland all scored in their opening matches, the 41-year-old Ronaldo could not find the net in Portugal's draw with Congo. With players like Vinicius Jr., Christian Pulisic, Victor Gyökeres, and Harry Kane also all scoring early in this year's World Cup, Ronaldo being held scoreless stands out even more. Ronaldo eventually broke his silence online. "It wasn't the start we wanted, but this is far from over," he wrote on X. "Head up and focus on the next game. Class, as always, from CR7, but the world had already delivered its verdict. Head up indeed, because it was a very rough night." The Ronaldo suspension scandal backdrop. And here's something that adds an extraordinary layer to this whole story, because Cristiano Ronaldo almost did not even play in this game at all. Not due to injury, not due to form, due to a red card and a FIFA decision that caused absolute uproar across the entire football world. Cristiano Ronaldo will likely avoid missing any Portugal games at the 2026 World Cup, despite his red card in a qualifying game for elbowing a Republic of Ireland opponent.
Portuguese pressure, Vega's going to put it in, there's a man down in the box.
FIFA published a disciplinary verdict that imposed a 3-game ban, which judged Ronaldo's action as violent conduct or serious foul play, but with 2 of those games deferred for a 1-year probation period. Effectively, FIFA handed Ronaldo a 3-match ban and then immediately suspended 2 of those 3 games. He served 1 game, Portugal's win over Armenia, and walked straight into the World Cup. And the football world? A Bola newspaper in Portugal was critical. FIFA has double standards. I don't believe any any other player besides Ronaldo would have been forgiven. Think about the irony here. FIFA controversially cleared Ronaldo to play against Congo, and then he produced a performance so invisible that people were asking whether Portugal would have been better off without him anyway. Stats provider Squawka pointed out that Ronaldo has now gone 10 consecutive games in major tournaments for Portugal without a goal. FIFA bent its own rules to get him on that pitch, and then the football gods delivered their own form of justice. The result speaks for itself. Dr. Congo's miracle, the other side of the story. Now, we cannot spend this entire video on CR7's nightmare without giving credit where it is absolutely, undeniably due, because DR Congo played. Before tonight, DR Congo had not played a World Cup match since a ass defeat to Brazil in West Germany in 1974, when they exited in the group stage. Appointed in 2022, Sébastien Desabre guided DR Congo to the semi-finals of the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations.
Democratic Republic of Congo are going to the semi-finals of the Africa Cup of Nations.
And has attacking talent at his disposal, including Yoan Wissa and Cedric Bakambu. While Portugal controlled possession for 75% of the match, DR Congo had more total shots, 8-7, and a higher expected goals figure of 0, 83 compared to Portugal's 0, 64 per FOTMOB. More shots, better quality chances, against one of the pre-tournament favourites, while barely touching the ball. How? A masterclass in tactical discipline, a compact defensive block, explosive on the counter, and an unshakable belief that lasted the full 90 minutes. Desabre said after the match, "I'm obviously very proud today because we've worked extremely hard. It was a very difficult match against a team that was stronger than us, but we showed courage and resilience. Scoring our first goal is a huge source of pride, because it reflects the character of this team. Their first ever World Cup goal, their first ever World Cup point, against Portugal, against Cristiano Ronaldo, on the biggest night in Congolese football history. Incredible." The numbers that condemn Portugal. Here is the thing. When you look at the numbers from this game with cold, clear eyes, you begin to realize this was not just one bad night. This was the culmination of a deeper, longer problem that Portugal and Ronaldo have been refusing to address for years. Ronaldo was held scoreless for the 5th straight World Cup match and the 10th consecutive game in major competitions, including World Cups and European Championships. He has not scored a non-penalty goal in a major competition since June 19, 2021, and despite his playing nearly every minute, Portugal have scored just 1 goal in their past 4 matches in major competitions. 1 goal in 4 major competition matches. Let that register. Portugal have Bruno Fernandes, they have Vitinha and João Neves, the heart of a Champions League winning PSG midfield. They have Nuno Mendes, arguably the best left-back in the world. They have Pedro Neto, Rafa Leão, Francisco Conceição, and they are scoring 1 goal per 4 games in major tournaments. Because every single tactical decision, every substitution, every set piece, every run, revolves around a 41-year-old striker who the data says is no longer able to create his own chances. If the team insists on being built around Ronaldo, who has just 1 goal in his last 7 World Cup appearances, they will not live up to their potential, and it gets even wilder when you zoom out. Messi has the joint most goals in the World Cup competition, 16, compared with Ronaldo's 8. Portugal have made it to 1 semi-final in 6 World Cup appearances under Ronaldo in 2006.
He's done it! Portugal are through!
And Ronaldo has infamously never scored beyond the group stages. Never, not once. In 6 World Cups, in the knockout rounds, the man who is widely regarded as one of the 2 greatest players in history has never once found the net. That is either the most extraordinary statistical anomaly in the history of the sport, or it tells you something very profound about the Ronaldo-Portugal relationship under World Cup pressure. Martinez defends his captain, but for how long? So where does this leave Roberto Martinez? Because the coach finds himself in the most unenviable position imaginable. His team drew their opening game of the World Cup against 1,000-to-1 outsiders. His star player was invisible. His best creative minds, Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, João Neves, were reduced to playing keep ball in front of a packed defensive block. And yet, he refuses to change anything. Martinez insisted there was no need to panic after 1 game. The World Cup is a tournament where these things happen, he said. Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia in 2022 and then went on to win the World Cup. In 2010, Spain lost to Switzerland and then won the World Cup. Those weren't performances that looked like those of eventual champions, but that's part of the process. What we're talking about here is the first match of a World Cup.
Argentina perde contra a Arábia Saudita, depois ganha Mundial. Em 2010, a Espanha perde contra a Suíça e ganha Mundial.
Fair points, genuinely fair points. But Argentina had Messi at 35 years old in 2022. And Messi, who was still moving around the entire pitch, dropping deep, linking play, running at defenders. Portugal have Ronaldo at 41, functioning purely as a centre-forward reference point, dependent entirely on service that never came. Martinez admitted, "Today, after we scored the opening goal, those emotions had a negative effect on our performance. We stopped taking risks, we stopped looking for space, we stopped reaching the final third." Ronaldo's next chance to bounce back comes on June 23rd, when Portugal take on Uzbekistan, a must-win game after this shock. And the burning question remains, does Ronaldo start? Does Martinez finally have the courage to make the change that the entire football world is screaming for? Or does he keep faith with his captain one more time? Which of these reactions surprised you the most? Henry, Sutton, Boateng, or the Messi chants from the crowd? Was Cristiano Ronaldo the problem on Wednesday night, or is Portugal's whole system broken around him? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section, and before you leave, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Goal Rivals so you don't miss the next ones.